G'day punters, welcome back to our first episode of the season. The new season kicks off on Sunday. We're looking forward to it. We've had a good break, as you can probably tell. But it's time to get back into it and stuck into some form.
Absolutely, Adam. Yes, good to be back with you here for another season of Two Colts in the Kong, first of 88 meetings for season 2020-2021 getting underway on Sunday at Sha Tin. Good card. And yes, we have been in a good paddock, and a few judges have suggested that to me. So I'm just hoping that, a bit like a few of the horses we're going to see on Sunday, some of them might need the run. Hoping we'll trim up. That could be us too.
Yeah, no, we'll be right. It's hot enough to lose a bit of weight and get fit over here. It's been really, really hot in the last couple of months, but it's been a great little off season, been a good little break. Yes, we had to stay here, but we've enjoyed ourselves, and it's not the worst place to be if you have to stay here. But had a great time and caught up for a few beers, and
we had a few, didn't we?
Yeah,
just a couple.
And no, but I'm very, very excited and looking forward to another big season ahead.
Definitely, we've got some really good horses. We've got David Hayes back in the training ranks. We've got Alexi Bedell back in the jockeys ranks full time. So there's a number of interesting storylines, and I think there's going to be a lot of nice young horses coming through this season. We saw the likes of Skyfield winning Dreamer win towards the end of last season, and plus, who knows what's out there that we haven't seen already yet.
Yeah, exactly. David Hayes looks like he's got a pretty good team this season, and I'm excited to see Alexi here. I think he's a great young talent. He's shown in his little stints that he is very, very talented. I think I don't know if he can win the premiership, but I reckon he'll have a huge season. And yeah, so much talent in the horse ranks. So many young horses coming through, and I seen my little mate Athero back at the track the other day, and Casper has him looking a treat. So, if we get him back to his best, and some of those young horses coming through those sprinting races, where it could be another spectacular year of sprinting races, staying races, and the milers, Golden 60 back this morning.
How did he look to your eye?
I thought he was awesome. I just thought he'd done everything. I seen the minute the pony went next to him to take him out on the track, he pinned his ears back, so he's still got a bit of that mongrel about him and that swagger, but he looked like he's filled out a bit. He looks like he has matured a bit more, and I think he's so special. I love how Vincent took him to the back and just, let him have his own way out the back, and he didn't do anything. He's honestly like a leopard. He just floats around along the ground, and you don't see many horses do what he does, and I can't wait to see him back at the end of the month in the Group 3 1400 metres.
Where he's likely to meet Beauty Generation, a clash of the new and the old, really. But we've got plenty of water to go under the bridge between now and the end of the month. Let's look into the more immediate future and into Sunday. And we start off at 1 o'clock Hong Kong time with a Class 5 over the mile. Who starts off with the winning ride here?
Tough race to start.
It's not easy.
Season. I've gone with Great Smart. I just thought he turned a bit of a corner when he went to Manfred Stable last season. I thought his recent trial was good. He's going to need a little bit of luck from the barrier, but, 1,600 metres, Matty Chadwick should be able to weave a bit of magic. I think he'll be the right price. Whose horse was pretty good. And his recent trial, the Full Bloom, his recent trial was good, and we do know
he needs 1,400.
Yeah, if 1,400 is his best. But in saying that, he's getting old. He might be getting a little bit more dour. So I wouldn't be shocked if the old grey horse blew him away first up. But very, very tough race to start the day.
There's a few races in that category as we go on to race 2. It's a Class 5. It's over 1,200 metres, and we'll see David Hayes set up his first runner in Hong Kong this time around with Money More.
Cha-ching. Money More. I think he'll just put money in your pocket. He's been a horse that I know Edward and I were talking about the minute he went to David Hayes' stables. His recent trial, it was not the trial of a Class 5 horse.
No, I interviewed David Hayes for Racing to Win this morning, and he described the trial as excellent. He might be a 22 start maidener. He's rated 25, but even his last couple of runs last season, when he got held up last time out on the straight course, he ran through the line really strongly. I don't know if he would have won, but he should have finished clearly second behind United We Stand. Off that run, off the trial, the stable change, I think I'm going to break my rule here, Adam. I'm going to make my best bet in Class 5. I think he's the one to beat.
Yeah, he looks the way to get the money straight away. Telecom Missile's a really nice looking horse, and he's always has shown that little bit of ability. So I would expect him to improve. And old Adonis, he won on this day last year. He'll be flashing home late, but Money More, I think, can start a huge day for Keith Young.
On to race number 3 then, up to Class 4, 1,200 metres. What's your take on this race?
Yeah, another interesting race. A horse who we spoke about last season, who I had something on at big odds. Keithy did ride him that day in All Joyful. No fault to anyone. He just got back and he was very green. I like the way he attacked the line. The recent trial was much better. He went forward. Karras was on his back. Zach gets on his back on Sunday. I have noticed he had the blinkers on in that trial. He's got the visor on Sunday. I don't know if that's just because he may have got a little bit fired up in those blinkers. So I think he's the best horse definitely in this race. He's going to be a nicer horse over further, but from barrier 4, I think Zach will just be sitting right behind him, and I think he should just be too classy for his rivals. Vigor Champ, another one of these stable change sort of horses. Jimmy Ting got him last season, and he won really, really well last start.
$24.
$24 he was, and yeah, he was trialling well. He was doing everything right before that. So I reckon he can run another huge race, and Hero Star's consistent. But I think, yeah, All Joyful can definitely win this race.
Looking at race 4 then, Class 4 over 1,200 metres. Number of interesting angles to this one.
Yep. He could be very good. Number 5. I couldn't tell you the last time Michael Chen, Keith Young, first starter, if they've ever teamed up for a first starter to win, but this horse's trials are, he's got the signs he could be a weapon. I think he looks a good thing. It's a good race. It's a tricky race, but if this horse produces what he's done at the trials, he could be very, very hard to beat on debut. And yeah, I think he's a serious animal.
Yeah, he looked good at the trials. First time around, watched the trial without the volume on, and I thought, that looks a bit too good to be the joy of giving, with respect to the joy of giving.
Yep.
Turned it up with the cool, and yes, Untold Riches. He's looked very good at the trials. He's won both of them. Off the way that he's trialled, I think he's a big hope as well. Bright Kid's been working well, racing well. Interstaver interests me with the stable change with Tony Miller. Judy Star, I liked his last start. I've always had a bit of time for him as a horse, but his trial was too bad to be true, I thought.
Trial was poor, but in saying that, his trial where Blake Shin rode him a couple of trials ago, before Blake rode him that couple of starts ago, before Neil got him and won, it was only okay too on the all-weather track. So I do know what you're saying in that trial, but I think Neil has a bit of an opinion of that more than enough. He rode them both in the trial, and he's stuck with Judy Star. So I think there might be something there. He's definitely got the ability to run a huge race, but Untold Riches, I think have a nice winner place bet on it. Okay,
let's go to the 5th race, Class 4, 1,400 metres. Some street somewhere. Can he do it again?
Definitely. He's a horse they can find in the betting, so he's probably going to be a touch under the odds. I think he's working well. He's, ticking all the boxes. I'm just going to go with Angel of My Eyes. I think he's a nice horse. 1,400s, good tick. Recent trial was good. I nearly tipped Villafy on top. I thought his recent trial was really good, 10 pounds off his back. I think he's going to get every chance to just sit in behind him and get out late, and it wouldn't shock me if he just held him. But I'd be shocked if the winner came from outside of numbers 1, 3, 4, or 6. I like Ezra as a horse, but I don't like him with the big weight on his back. That's just me. And 1,400, I love him at 1,400 because I don't think he's a miler. But Angel of My Eyes, first up, but he's got a bit of residual fitness. Recent trial, I think he'd be very, very hard to beat over 14.
Ezra's, to mine, always looked better than Class 4. So I know he's got the big weight, but I think he's better than this grade when he's on song.
Definitely. He's a Class 3 horse. It wouldn't shock me if he ever won in Class 2 down in the weights as well. But he's had a lot of excuses. He
Mm.
does. In saying that, he is a horse that has to be ridden quiet. And I think Alexi will definitely get the best out of him, and he'll be flashing home late. You won't miss him because he's a good-looking little grey horse.
Race 6, Class 4, 1,000 metres. Heliku Knights looked good at the barrier trials for his first run for David Hayes, and he even showed signs that he was turning it around the way that he finished off last season.
In race 5, the last race, have something on Heng's decision if he's huge odds. His recent trial is very good. Yes, race 6, the 1,000. Gee, was this another tough race?
Mm.
I went with Heliku Knight, a horse who I've always had the opinion of. He finally showed at last start. The recent trial was good. David Hayes' horses look to be going good. He's drawn the right side of the track. I've got him on top. Huge watch on the stable change. Prince of Gems. Liked his recent trial. Millard can change a horse around. So I think he'll run a huge race. United We Stand. I don't know what to do with him. I thought his recent trial was okay.
I just think the way that he won last time out, he was better than Class 5. He should be winning in this grade. And with Jerry Chow on board, 116 pounds, go to the front, keep on going. And I'm with Heliku Knight as well too, but I could see United We Stand running a big race.
Yeah.
The other one that interests me here, Adam, Management Supreme, 3 start to go, put in a big run. I don't think it was one of Vincent's best rides, 2 start to go. And then last time he's beaten by a pretty good horse. He's one that I'm following, not necessarily for Sunday strictly, but this season in general. I think he'll win his races.
Yeah, I thought his recent trial was just quiet. I don't know why Vincent isn't riding. That's why I just wondered why he wasn't riding, unless he was booked for Dublin Star. But big watch on the 2 first starters, Sure Win-Win and Pegasus Glory. They both trialled really, really good. Sure Win-Win's going to be under the odds because Zach's on it. But I thought they could both run a huge race. But the chances don't stop there. Super Winner trialled enormous. Lucky Turbo trialled good. So
the day that Super Winner wins, Adam, yeah, you can have him. He only has one speed, and it's a speed that looks good at the trials.
So if he comes out and wins on Sunday, Edward's not going to be a happy man.
I'm more than happy for the connections to win, but I've fallen into him a few too many times. He's on my bad list.
A little break can do both human and horses the world of good. Race 7, Edward.
Yes. The only thing I would say is you've always got the same amount of talent before and after the break. You might be able to produce it more, but I don't think it comes back necessarily. Anyway, play on, says the umpire. Race 7, Class 3,000 metres. I'm going with Metro Warrior here. Beautifully bred horse. Good performances last couple of starts in some good form races. Blinkers on for the first time, drawn to be in the right part of the track for Hayes and Perkin.
Talented horse. Trial was only fair, I thought. I am have a good opinion of him. Followed him last season. I don't know about his trial. I just thought he may need this run first up. So I think he'll be better over 1,200. I've gone with Baltic Success.
Down in class?
Down in class. I think he'll just run him along. When he's at his best, he's a good handy sprinter over 1,000 metres. And Kaying Master, for little Keithy Young, who had a very tough season last season. I'm expecting him to have a much better season this season. I think he can run a huge race. He won on this day last season.
I think he's won in between them too. I remember him running away from him in a Class 3 race down the straight before, and they didn't see what way he went.
Yeah, no, first up last season, he got the cash done. I think he's doing Chung Fa recent trial good. I think he can run a huge race. Metro Warrior and War of Courage is a consistent horse, but needs to stick his head out to start winning.
What about Chen Prince from Griffin to Class 3?
I was a bit disappointed in his trial. And he's probably more of a 1,200 metre horse, I thought, but he's done nothing wrong. He's another horse who won't miss in the run. It's going to be a beautiful clack of the course when he retires. Barrier 3, maybe next up.
Okay. Let's go to the traditional feature at this opening day of the season, the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup. Field of 11, and 5 or 6 of these could win it. It wouldn't shock. I landed with Fat Turtle because he started off last season well. He's got good fresh form. He contested some stronger races than this and ran well in those sort of races last season. And for mine, he maps beautifully.
Yeah. Frankie's done a great job with this horse, Fat Turtle. I've got him on top as well. very consistent. A horse who I thought was probably, found his mark there towards early on last season, but he's got better and better. Recent trial was good, drawn perfectly, should just get every chance to win. Wishful thinker, talented horse, but definitely a bit of a thinker. I think he's a horse that has to be ridden very pretty, held up, get out late, launch. But he's not going to get my money first up. Computer Patch is a horse who I've got a huge opinion of. I've always liked him. I think he can run a huge race with no weight in his back. Champion's Way, first up. Not his best last season, that horse. I'm happy to put a pen through a few of his runs. Been to Chung Fa, freshened up. Recent trial was good. And old Rattan, he'll be launching home late if he gets every chance. But I think Fat Turtle can be a nice little each way bet.
Computer Patch, when I looked at the form, was initially going to tip him on top. I haven't got him in my top three. I put him in for fourth. The trial put me off him a little bit.
Yeah, I think I did see him that day at the trials. He did look a bit tubby.
We're not in a position to have a go at Computer Patch for perhaps being a bit tubby.
I didn't mind it. I actually didn't like it at first. I agree with you. But then watching that, he was crowded for a bit of room. I think Carrick's just sat up on him late. But I think if he gets every chance, relaxes throughout, he'll be very, very hard to run down if he's got with the no weight in his back. I really like this horse. I think I always said last season that he was going to be a better horse this season. So I'm going to stick with that. But Fat Turtle just to edge out the Patch.
Sizes horses here. Champion's Way for mine. I still thought he was solid last season. Maybe we overestimated him after what he did at his first season. But last season, he did take a couple of runs to get going before he then produced his best in that Group 3, the Classic Mile, and even the Classic Cup. I just wonder if he's a horse that needs a couple of runs to get going. Even the way he races, I don't reckon he's a 1,200 horse. What about Beauty Legacy? Back to a sprint trip and hopefully at a tempo where he's not going to be pulling his head off.
First with Champion's Way, a horse who I think John Size has changed his whole training regime around to be a bit of a sprinter. I don't think he ever thought he was a miler or anything. I think he just made him do that because of the 4-year-old series.
Okay.
I think Chung Fa and all that freshened him right up. He hasn't had a run for a while. I think he'll be ready to go. Inside, I do think he's a 1,400-metre horse. And Beauty Legacy, I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. I don't think he's as good as everyone thinks. And I'm happy to continue to say that. But if they go 100 mile an hour, they just leave him alone, he may run on. But I do think he's a horse that needs to go forward. And that's the way I think he needs to be ridden.
I've left him alone, but he's interesting for me getting back to this distance. Race 9, Class 3, over 1,400 metres. Excellent proposal. I don't think it was the strongest race he was in last time out, but he still acquitted himself well. He's trialled nicely. He's my idea of the winner of this.
Yeah, he's my best bet of the day. I like this horse. He showed ability in Australia with the Freedmans and very, very good on debut over here last season. And then recent trial was really good. He looks like he still does a lot wrong, but I've got a feeling that John and Joe both like this horse, and Barra 6, he should get every chance to win. He's taken on some older boys who've been around the block for a while. So, and Uncle Steve's a nice horse, but it's going to need plenty of luck from Barra 10. So I just think he's going to get every chance to win first up. And Perfect Pair was outstanding last start. He was a moral last start. He got the job done. He got every chance, but he ran good time. But his recent trial was, I thought it was a bit Perfect Fair. I didn't think it was that good, but 115 on his back, he could run a huge race. I didn't know what to do with him, so I just left him out of my numbers. But excellent proposal, I think. If he produces his best, all over.
Alcari finished off last season well, and Private Council's shown enough, I thought, of the barrier trials for David Hayes for his first start for him leading into the weekend to finish up. Then I reckon it's a good race. We finish up with the Class 2 over 1,400 metres. Who wins it?
I've gone with Super Oasis. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Super Wealthy, and he is back after a long break. I think he had a bone chip removed.
He did.
In this race, Super Wealthy is the best horse by a long margin. He's a very, very good horse. He's the real deal, but I think he's a bit of a heavy horse, and he reared up at the start in his trial the other day, and I just think he's going to maybe take a couple of runs to get going, but definitely don't sack him, and definitely he could win on class alone. He's a proper horse. I've gone with Super Oasis, finished off the season with a win last season. Recent trial was good. Young Jerry Chow rode him last start, so he's going to know what he's all about, and I think he just gets every chance. Mongolian King, very consistent horse. Should have beaten Super Oasis last start. Beauty Applause, a horse who I think has to be ridden quiet. I think he's better ridden that way.
Work recently has looked good. And Sizes horses, I find, don't necessarily look good in their work. They're not those types of horses, but he did look good, I thought.
Yeah, I think just the big raps on this horse, he always goes out short price favourite, and he has won a few races. But he's going to probably be under the odds again tomorrow. He's barrier 9. It's a bit of a tricky barrier. I just think if he can be ridden quietly with flashing home late, and of course, I'll put Super Wealthy in for 4th. A horse in this race who's going to be, I don't know what odds, he has serious ability, is Chorus Unicorn for Michael Chang. If you had the double, these two horses, it could
Untold Riches into Chorus Unicorn.
It could pay anything, but for a fact, this horse has a very, very, very good engine, and he wasn't suited on the all-weather track last start. Back to the turf. Keithy, if there's a bit of speed up front, I would be having something very small each way this horse, because he'll be launching home late.
One more I'll throw in there. If you're playing quaddies or trebles or those exotic type of bets, if there's not much speed on, Happy Fun will be hard to run down. He's such an honest horse. He's one of my favourites.
He is an honest horse. He's just that barrier 11. He just may, struggle to get across early, and then he's going to have to work, and then maybe a little bit weak late. But yeah, it doesn't stop there. Monica could run a race.
I'll throw in, David Hayes said that he thought all of his runners would do well apart from, he didn't say apart from, but he said he thought Monica would struggle.
Okay, so that means a moral, or
We'll find out.
No, but, I think Super Oasis
the male from the track anyway.
I think very hard to beat.
Okay,
but anything could win the lucky last.
Best bet?
Yeah, I'm going to go Excellent Proposal. Riches, what price? Hopefully,
I'm thinking
15, 20 to 1. Okay, value bet if that's what he is.
Okay,
but I don't think we're going to get that.
No, I'm thinking 6 to 10.
Any season predictions?
I'll go. I've really thought outside the square with this one, so just hold tight to your seat. Zach or Joe to win the jockey's title. I'm not going to lock one in though at this stage. If I was framing a market, I would say Zach's favourite. But if Joe and John Size have a great season together, game on for sure. And they are both super talented jockeys. We know that. Trainer, I'm prepared to have a bit of a dig because it's a bit of a go because it's more open. I'll go for Frankie, my trainer.
Yep.
Horse of the year, I'll go Golden 60.
Yeah, I think Horse of the year, Golden 62.
Jockey and trainer? I
think he's a moral first up.
Golden 60?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just special. He's so special. He's not Winks. I don't mean to say this, but he's the sort of horse, I think, where Winks could go into a 1,200 or 1,400 metre first up, blown away. I think he's the same. I think he can just do that sort of. He's got an explosive turn of foot, and just got to, if they keep him sound and right, I definitely will win the Horse of the Year by a long way.
I think he's come around at the right time too, in that Beauty Generation is now 8.
Yeah.
I think why Cuckoo's a solid Group 1 horse, but he's no champion.
Yep.
You wouldn't avoid a race just because White Cuckoo is going to be there. And outside of that, in that mile to 2,000 metre range, him against Exalted would be an interesting race because I could see Zach would get going early on Exalted.
And really, staying test.
Yes, and I don't think, if it came to a battle of stamina, I don't think Golden 60 would win. I'd be favouring Exalted, but came down to who's got the better turn of foot. Golden 60 would be.
Yeah, he's so special. And then a young horse who some told me I was probably shouldn't have said it, but I think Skyfield's a star.
Yeah.
I think he is honestly a star. I hope they keep him to the spring ranks because I think he's a sprinter. I don't train horse, but wouldn't shock me if he went to the mile or anything like that. But Athero, if he comes back, could be anything. But yeah, serious horses. I'm going to go with Size to win the.
Yeah.
Size or Hayes. I think Hazy's just got so many good horses there, and he is going to warm up a little bit later. But I think when he warms up, there's some proper talent there, and even like a horse like Moneymore, and he's got one in next Sunday. But wow, Class 4. I don't know what price they're going to go up, but I think $1.80 would be over. So he's got these horses improved. He's got another one there by the name of Urban Dancer that's trialled enormous. So I think Hazy could win it first up, but I'm just going to go with Sizey to beat Hayes. Zach's, I think he'll get the job again. But I think big improvement from Blake Shin this season.
Yep, Blake. I can certainly see that. I think the battle for third is going to be fascinating, and I don't think third's the sexiest position to finish in from the jockeys. But it is a cut and dry 2-horse race for who finishes first and second of the jockey's title. But I can see Karras, with the support that he gets from Tony Cruz, and he just seems to get better each season, certainly numbers-wise anyway, can see that he's going to be a factor. Vincent Ho's getting better every season, gets more support, and obviously his Golden 60. Chad Schofield had his best ever season last season. He's a young jockey on the rise. Alexi's here full-time. I think those four, the battle between those four is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, I think Alexi will have an enormous season.
Who finishes third then? So if I'm, from what you're saying, I'm guessing, not wanting to put words in your mouth, Zach first, Marrero second. Who runs third?
Alexi. I wouldn't be shocked if Alexi ran second.
Okay.
I just think he's going to have a huge season. He's a proper rider. First full season, he's got some nice rides to start off, and he said he's got some nice rides Wednesday as well. So if he hits the ground running, I think he will get plenty of support, and he's a smart young lad. I think he seems pretty good with his form and stuff like that. So I just think he's in for a huge season, and got to think outside the square, because if we just keep going with the same ones all the time, I suppose it gets a bit boring. But I think Zach's too good. We all know how good he is. He's a freak, smart jockey on and off the course. So I think he'll get the job done. And I think if you could prove a most improved horse, I think a horse like Moneymore and Urban Dancer and a horse by the name of Mighty Power.
I do like him as well too.
I think those sort of horses you could find. My old mate Car Fortune. I think those sort of young horses that having a couple of stable changes, I think that could be the tip for early on in the season. Keep a big eye on them, watch your trials, and I think there'll be back a few winners early on, and hopefully continue for the whole season.
Let's hope so, Adam. Let's hope so. Well, you've already flagged up one to look out for next week, so make sure you stay tuned. Great to be back with you on Two Colts in the Com. And we might have a few guests along the way as well, Adam. So not only tune in for the winners, but tune in to see some of the stars of Hong Kong racing join us, whether they're able to join us in person or through Zoom, and get to hear their thoughts on life in Hong Kong and racing, and hopefully as well they can find us a few winners.
Definitely. We should be chatting with Alexi tomorrow, so we'll put that up. But good luck, everyone, and we hope you're staying safe, stay positive, and find plenty of winners. All the best.